Candise Kemp was always known as the go-to for advice among her peers. She easily saw the solution when others were torn between two answers. Yet she couldn't do the same in her own life. Chasing a life in sales, she always led the board, but found she had more of an interest in the client than the actual product. Feeling unsatisfied with merely punching a clock, she realized her life mission was the business of people. As an aspiring speaker and business and life coach, Candise is helping others find their purpose and living a prosperous life. Candise, you ready to rock this? Let's do it. Awesome, awesome. You are now live on Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Hey, everyone.
Awesome. So we're going to have a lot of fun today, and we always start off with the theme of the day. And today's theme of the day is the mastermind. So the mastermind is like the collective minds that come together to create an awesome result, a third and greater mind, something that couldn't have happened without these people coming together. So whether it's with clients, whether prospects, your coaches, your peers, your associates, your family, talking to people randomly, anyone can be a mastermind. But we're curious, Candise, how has the mastermind principle and that effect, how has that shown up for you?
It's been a great impact to me because you can always gauge where you are. You can always have just, being able to see what other people are doing, what's working, what's not, the encouragement, especially when you are a speaker and you do have different things going on. It's not a typical job.
Right.
So, of course, you're waiting for the next thing to happen, the next big thing to just shake. Of course, you're getting leads and you're trying to figure out what the next step is. And it's good to have that support. I have quite a few people, connected with a couple of masterminds just to see what's going on, if they've noticed a shift in the business, but also just that encouragement and keeping you sharp. Of course, that's truly important to me.
Yes, I love it. And how we got connected is because you reached out to me about my mastermind. So thank you for being a go-getter, stepping up to the plate, and being that person who rises to the occasion. Because literally, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. So thank you so much for raising your hand, taking that step forward. Super proud of you. And we're going to be diving into your journey today. Okay. What was the steps that it took to get here? Before that, we want to know, what are you doing today? What are you up to? How are you speaking? Life coach? Tell us more about what you do for people. And you mentioned, people come to you for advice. So tell us more about that.
Okay. I started out as an accidental life coach. Like I said, I didn't realize that exhorting is a gift. It's a gift to relate to other people, just that emotional intelligence that a lot of people just don't get. They can do well at a job. They know that if you give me the tools, I can build this thing. But they fail to realize that people, that's how we make the world go round. You need the next person to get to the next level, the next point. So with life coaching, again, it started out with some friends until I realized that this is my calling, and I'll never be satisfied until I continue to help people get to their next level. Wow. So that's what I've been filling my days with. I sing and dance and do a couple of other things. And we start out talking about what I'm doing. And they end up, just going deep, really deep. You ever meet some people where, it's supposed to be a, hey, how's it going? And it gets really deep. Next thing you know, I'm trying to help them work out situations where it was supposed to be just a quick conversation. And that's just how I got into life coaching. And of course, speaking comes with the territory. So
totally. Absolutely. I love it. I love it. So we're going to get more into these principles that you're focused on and, talking about some of these situations, helping people and what that's like, what it's been like. So take us back a little bit on the journey and tell us about some of the challenges that you had to go through to get to where we are today. What were some of the pearls of wisdom that you picked up along the journey, and just share that with our audience.
Some of the wisdom that I picked up is ask. Don't be prideful to ask. I mean, I've lost a lot along the journey and trying to find and discover myself. I've had to move in with my mom, without a child, then came back with a child, phone being off, no internet connection, having to make phone calls at the library because they had the connection. Currently, I'm going to school, and it was because I asked. It was because I connected with someone and I knew what she was doing. She had a life and business training school, and I didn't have the money. And I said, I'm going to keep in contact with you. And when I have it, I'm going to, contact you. But as of right now, I'm following you on Facebook. If you have any tips for me, let me know. And because of my eagerness, because of my just my excitement, for life, vigor for life, she ended up allowing me to go to her school, no charge.
Wow.
Absolutely no charge. So I am currently going to school for business and life coaching, all because I believe in myself. And like you said, the answer is always no. I just reached out to her and I said, you know what? This is what I'm supposed to do. But it was more so that she reached back out to me and said, not only do I believe in you, you're behind. It's so many people that you need to help and you're not in position. So hurry up. Let's pick up the pace. Let's get started. You tell me what day and time and I'll meet you. Wow. And that was a major inspiration for me. And it let me know that I'm exactly where I need to be.
Candise, it sounds like there's a theme in your life right now to keep asking for more because someone, something, the universe, God is delivering this to you. What are you discovering through all this? I'm
discovering ask, and the scripture says, knock and it shall be open, ask and you shall receive. Yes. So why not? There are a lot of doors. You decide on when they open and when they close. Yes. And some doors do close and that's okay, but that doesn't mean that's the end. So it's just about pushing and knowing who you are. And what I realized is it's not about where you are today, because sometimes even a month from now, I'm a different person. And that month from now person is saying, what are you doing? Come on, you should be doing this. Go ahead and make those phone calls. Go ahead and reach out to those people. Reach out for those resources because they're available. Yeah. So, and that I believe is the bigger issue. A lot of people can only see right where they are. And I've made the decision to rise above. What it's basically about, seeing the whole picture and operating in the full picture, realizing there's going to be some ups and downs, but it's about being able to persevere it all because inevitably you're going to win.
Yes. I love it. I love it. So I'm curious, like what did you have to break through yourself? Any kind of fears or uncertainty or uncomfortability or fear of rejection. What have you had to break through for yourself, and like, how did that happen? Can you take us to any kind of specific instances? You mentioned this woman or anything else that you've like broken through, kind of what it was like before you made that breakthrough, before you asked, before, what were the thoughts, what were the feelings? And then you asked, and then what was it like after? What did you feel after? Can you take us through kind of one of those scenarios so that we can be in that situation and kind of experience that breakthrough ourselves with you?
I'll give you an example of a situation. Growing up, and people are so surprised, I used to be really shy. Really quiet. If anyone were to approach me, I would start shaking. I'm sweating under my arms. I'm sweating on my forehead. And by the time the conversation is over, and I seem pretty cool when they're talking to me, but as soon as they walk away, you can look in my hands and I would see like my fingerprint, my fingernails, my claws, because I was clenching so tight. It was the tension. So it seemed like I was pretty cool and confident, but it was so pent up. And it was one day where I realized that being shy is a form of being selfish. It's one of those, what are they thinking of me? Am I saying the right thing? Oh, is my hair right? So I'm so involved in myself. When someone's talking to me, I can't even really hear them because I'm trying to fabricate or make up what my next comment is. And you probably know what I mean, where you can tell someone is already thinking. It's like, let me ask the question first, right? So once that revelation hit me, like that's a form of selfishness, not giving all of who I am to anyone who comes to me. They're asking me something sincerely, but I'm trying to fabricate and make up the perfect answer when they didn't ask for perfect. They just wanted to have a conversation with me. They like me or something that drew them to me, and I didn't give them everything that would benefit them. So with that, a lot of people are shy or intimidated because of what's going to happen. And nobody dies, you know, you don't die after the conversation. When you're speaking, you'll live, you'll make it through, and just share that message that you have, because they may not get it anywhere else. You're the missing link. And that was a revelation for me.
Yeah. What's it like being that, you mentioned people come to you and ask for that advice. What's it like being the provider, the person who delivers that message that needs to be shared at that moment? Like, what's that like for you?
It's refreshing because they get to make it to the next level. Some people are so short-sighted, or they can only see, from one point of view. Being blessed to be able to see from multiple points of view, it just allows them to have a clearer focus, a clearer path to where they're going. And it's just amazing how some people just can only see it. Some people are left brain and right brain, and you can go into the science of it all. But some people really need that answer. Some people are really struggling over things that don't seem that deep, and it doesn't seem that serious. And by the time it's all over and they're like, what was I, why was I so stressed out about it? I think it's good to have a mentor. It's good to have someone that you can go over things with. Like you mentioned, a mastermind. I mean, that's genius. Come together. Let's collaborate and see what you came up with, what I came up with. And I really believe that adults feel like they don't need a mentor. They don't need someone that they can go to for advice. They feel like they can figure it out or read articles, just talk to someone. Not always your best friend, because your best friend is going to tell you what they think for you, but someone who truly cares for you, who is going to give you that missing piece that you already knew. Most people already know the answer.
Yep.
But it helps them to consolidate how they feel and just move confidently in the direction they're supposed to be going.
Yeah, one of the best styles of coaching, and we focus on it at Burn Up Coaching, is asking people questions to give them the choice. So it's like, well, today sucks.
Yes.
Does it really? Is that the truth? Like who decided that? Did you decide that? Like, and like getting people to take a detached view, to zoom out of their automatic programming, is one of the most valuable things that we can do.
Right.
Because we present the choice, and now they can start asking themselves these questions. Now these business owners who said, man, my employees suck. Like, I hate working with them. This is terrible. They show up lazy, they show up late, whatever, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, so why? Why do you think they do that? Why do you think they are showing up like that? What is missing? What's missing from the culture? What do they want that they're not getting fulfilled? What would have them come alive? What would make the difference in your culture? What would make the difference in them actually showing up engaged? And it's through that detached view that it doesn't have to be like that. Like the truth that you are holding so tightly onto, that this is how it is, that it could be another way, is one of the most valuable things that we can do as coaches and mentors in people's lives.
Absolutely. And, I took that approach as a business development manager. No one understood my concept. And back then, this was years ago, I didn't realize there was a difference between managing and leading and, just that form of leadership.
Right.
Everyone was trying to school me and teach me on how to be a manager. But I took a different approach. My approach was every single day I would walk in, and I had a team of 10 at the time. And I would take a couple of them each day, just choose different ones. I'll ask them to come in and close the door. And they think they're in trouble. When in actuality, I'm like, hey, how's it going? And they're like, I'm fine. And I say, how's your family doing? And they're like, okay. I usually follow up with something like, well, you said that your grandmother was sick last week. So I just wanted to make sure that you were in a good place mentally, spiritually today to move forward today, because I'm going to need you today. I'm going to need you to be all in. So is there anything that you need to get out? Do you have any questions, concerns regarding the position? And we just talk it out. And actually, during that time, some people would just break out and cry and say, oh, my life and my husband and this. And, we'll talk it. They'll let it out. I'll say, now, clean yourself up. And then they were ready for the day.
Yes.
But a lot of people, they're at work and they're in an 8-hour shift. They're working only 4.5 because they have to take care of this and this is going on. And so much is going on in their life that they're not even really good for you at that moment. You as a manager, you as an owner, because they're clocked in for 8 hours, but mentally they're somewhere else for 2.5.
Right, and
so,
a lot of people are carrying this weight on them that is like all the doubts, the fears, the insecurity, the stuff that's happening at home, and you have the opportunity as a leader to say, hey, come in to my office, come into this conversation, come into this space that I'm creating for you, and just share what's going on. And finally, it's like they don't have to keep holding it all together. They don't have to act like everything's perfect. They don't have to, like deal with it all in their head, and they can just get it out and like kind of, unleash it and like let it go. And then they're free. And then they're free.
Right. And then the next step after that, of course, is instead of me saying, all right, I need this on my desk by 11:30, I need this, and then check out with me at lunch, I'll empower them. If I hired them, then obviously I trust their judgment. So I would say, so what's your goal for today? They already know what I've said. They know that they need this much of this, they need this, they need this. So with that framework, what is your goal? Okay, sounds good. Okay, did you get a chance to talk to Mr. So-and-so? You were supposed to call him back yesterday. How did that conversation go? And after that, then they feel empowered. So instead of me checking on them every 5 minutes, did you do this? Did you do this? Well, what if I give them a list of things to do and they complete it? So if I come by 11:30, they're saying, what? I'm done with my work. And a lot of managers have an issue with that. Like, oh, this person won't work. Well, you gave them a list to do and they did it. But if you empower them and they have a sense of ownership or understand the bigger picture of the business, then they become a part of the team and they don't mind working. And it goes back to what you say. Yeah, your employees don't suck. You hired them for a reason. There's something in them that you saw on that day, that spark. You have to continue to light that fire. Everybody's going to pay around the same amount. If you pay $10 and the next person pays 10, what's going to keep them at your company? And it's ultimately that atmosphere.
So
and we need to create that more.
Yeah. What are some ways that we can create that when we first meet someone, when we first get connected with someone, whether they're a employee, whether they're a friend, a business associate? What are some recommendations that you have about setting the tone for the relationship?
You just let them know that you're there for them. If they need anything, you let them know what you do for a living. Well, of course, it depends if you're talking to a friend or a client. But say, for example, when you're meeting new people, I like to network a lot. So I just let them know what I'm doing. We find some common interest and I give them my information, let them know that I'm available. If it's an employee, I let them know that this is a free place, a free space for you to work comfortably, that I will give you every tool that you need to work comfortably in this atmosphere. Just let me know, because I do have an open door policy. I expect you to work hard, of course. Everything that you said on your interview, I'm expecting for you to deliver, and I'll deliver even more, just to make sure that this is the place that you would like to come and stay. And of course, it's expensive to continue to hire more and more people, the training. So you want to keep your people with you. Just let them know that you want them to be there. You appreciate them. And that's ultimately what it is. You appreciate the people in your life.
Do you ever find that some leaders might say they appreciate their employees and the people in their life, but not necessarily take actions that correlate that?
I think they do. A lot of companies, they feel like I pay you. That's why you're here. You need a job. I got the money. So get to work. And nowadays, I mean, in 2018, it's not about how much you pay people. Honestly, people still ask for more. And that's why some companies do have a gym membership. They have daycare on spot, at the location. But I think it's important to keep your employees plugged in to know exactly, okay, this is what's going on in the company. If you do some volunteer work, get them involved. Let them feel like a part of something bigger than themselves, clocking in and day out. It's just that, coming together.
Yeah. What have been some of the biggest lessons that you've learned becoming a life and business coach?
I learned that it doesn't matter how much money someone makes. I mean, it's things you already know, but a lot of people are chasing peace and happiness. They become envious of other people's lives. And it's unfortunate that you think, okay, I got my degree and now I got married and I got my kids and the house, and why am I not happy? It just requires a little bit of inward work, working on the heart, working on some things, just to have those hobbies, do those things that you enjoy. Don't lose yourself. And, especially when you look at statistics, when it comes to issues of the heart attacks and things like that. Of course, some of it is dealing with, just how you eat and things like that, exercising and working out. But a lot of it deals with people just harboring feelings, and they become sad, then they become depressed, and then they sit at home, all because they don't want to deal with that thing. It's just about handling what you need to handle. Be at peace. Find your peace. Find that thing that gets you up every single day. It keeps you younger, healthier, not only in your mind and in your heart, but like literally it keeps you healthier to take care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. And it doesn't matter your income bracket, it doesn't matter if you have a family or not. I mean, just a lot of people need to work out those small things that, started maybe as they were younger, but now it becomes bigger and bigger, and then they hide from the world, and they don't even talk to their neighbors. A lot of people won't talk to their neighbors. They would rather look down at the ground than talk to the person beside them. They rather be on their phone in the lunchroom than talk to their coworker. And it just goes back to we need each other.
Yeah. Yes. How do we break outside of our comfort zone and actually have those conversations, break out of the monotony, the hamster wheel of life, and actually start discovering that peace and connection?
I think it's important to get out and, work out, take care of yourself. I mean, you naturally release endorphins and serotonin in your own body and brain. I mean, people don't really get that. It's so important. You don't have to take uppers and downers and energy drinks and do all those things to just get to that place of peace. A lot of people, like I said, they don't realize when they're talking really fast, or they don't realize that they're always on the go. I didn't realize that I used to walk really fast. I was always on a mission. And I had to sit down and say, wait a minute, I'm always going, and my mind is always going. Let me just stop and breathe, So just finding that time, finding those things that you like to do, finding those people that you can connect with, you can lock arms with, that won't judge you, and that just being able to connect with those people, finding those groups, like I said, hobbies. It's important to find something besides just work and family and things like that. What else? Who are you? I put that on Facebook. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. I put it on my Facebook page. And on my page, I put, who are you? Half of them said their title. Oh, I'm the senior vice president of this. I said, but who are you? They're like, that's who I am. I said, that's your title, but who are you? And they didn't know. Those are the kind of people that, they sit and drink, or they are dying for a vacation because they're trying to get away from their life. You took all this time to build this life, and now you want to wait till Friday. Can't wait till Friday. They want to take a vacation because they're trying to run away from their life for just a moment to breathe. But find what makes you you, your identity.
Candice, how do you answer the question, who are you?
I'm someone who loves life. I'm someone who loves to help other people just realize their brilliance. I found that I had to dull my shine because it made other people uncomfortable. It's like, you're too loud, you're too this, you're too that. And at one time I did that, but it made me just like them because, uncomfortable, not really happy. But then I realized that what purpose am I serving? How am I helping other people? And my purpose is to help other people.
Yeah, I love it.
That's how I do it.
I had a guest on here. Her name's Kalani Michelle, and she was down in Southern California, Orange County, where I live. And we went to an event probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And we were like business minded. She's a coach as well.
Right.
And I'm like, we're not going to ask people, what do you do? Because we're at a networking event. We're not going to ask people, what do you do? We're going to ask people, who are you? Right? What a freaking powerful question to start off with. And everyone who we ask, they're like, whoa, that's deep. Like, that's a deep question. Yeah. Like, we're going there. And it's like, it's cool to be the leader, the person out in front setting the pace. Like, that's one example. I'm going to share two more things. One is who I am, and the second is this who I am with my family, right? How I've been stepping up with my family, because it's part of leadership. It's part of this. So who I am is someone who ignites possibility within people, about that they can do anything that they set their mind to. They can have anything that they desire. They can be anyone they want to be. They can become that person. They can become the dream version of themselves. They're a superhero. So I ignite them into action so that they go freaking change the world. They go change the people's lives in their world. They go make an impact. They go influence. They take this life for like everything that it can possibly be. Take one step at a time and just say thank you every single moment and appreciate every single moment. And that's who I am. So I love that. I love that question.
I love that.
So the second thing is with my family, because for a while I was really not being the leader who I knew myself as, not showing up as the powerhouse leader on social media, with my clients, going to seminars, with these new circles of people that I was around. I was not being the leader that I knew I could be, because I still had this relationship with my parents and my family that I was like this little kid, that I was irresponsible, that I was still growing up, that I was still, getting my feet underneath me. I was still learning to flap my wings, right? And these are all like stories that I made up about myself based on past incidents and stuff like that. And so at the end of last year, probably around October, I started doing these weekly Zoom video calls with my family, right? And I started standing up for us having a connected family, because my mom and my sister, they had great relationship, but like I didn't feel like we had a cohesive, communicative family consistently, right? And so I said, you know what? We're doing these Zoom calls, and I'm going to make sure that we keep doing them. I'm going to be like standing that we keep scheduling these, we keep making it happen. And on the calls, like normally we'd get on the calls if it was their agenda, right? We'd get on the call and say, hey, how's it going? How's the weather? How's work? How's da-da-da-da-da, right? That kind of usual conversation. And I'm like starting off, what are you grateful for, right? Starting off like awesome, good note. And then one of the things I said in the very early stages is, I want to share what I'm afraid of. I want to share what I'm dealing with. I want to share like what is burdening me, and like let it go in this family environment. And I don't want to be afraid that I'm going to get judged or shamed or guilted around the stuff that I'm dealing with, because my family is very 9-to-5 mindset, and I'm very entrepreneurial mindset. So a lot of the stuff that I do is different and not exactly in alignment with their values and what's important to them. They value security. I value freedom and kind of innovating and doing things against the grain, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So being able to share with them like what is concerning me, I never felt free to do that. But as I keep doing more and more of these calls, and I keep setting more and more of that precedent, showing up as the leader who says, no, this is how it's going to be, because if not, then it's going to go how it's always gone, right? Unless someone changes something, unless someone inspires and enrolls people into a new way of being, creates a new culture, right? We were talking about culture in our companies that we're setting with our employees, with our business partners. How do we show up and set that tone with the people around us? I knew that I had to change the culture if I want to feel differently about my relationship with my family. I want a more valuable, deep, intimate relationship with my family. So it's that who I am everywhere in my life, not just on social media, not just on this 12-hour marathon, not just with my clients, not just with my professional associates and stuff like that, but who am I everywhere? And how do I show up congruently in integrity everywhere in my life and take on the places in my life where I might be like resigned or like, it's no use, or that's who they are. It's like, no, I'm going to stand up for what I believe in and who I am everywhere. In one place is who I'm going to be everywhere. So it's just been an awesome journey and lots of fun.
That is a beautiful journey. And some are so scared to take that journey. They would rather spend time with strangers. When I say strangers, friends, than their own family members. They have people, a lot of people have family members that they do not talk to because they feel like that's just the way they are. We're related, but I don't have to have that type of relationship with them. I've made it my mission to connect with my family. And I am different. Your story is just like mine, the 9-to-5ers versus the freedom fighters, it's just freedom fighters unite.
Yes.
And I've always had that inside of me. I've done a couple of multi-level marketing companies, and I've gotten a little bit of response from that, and I think that's great. But people just feel like, oh, that's just my family. I accept them because we have the same blood. But why not accept them because that's another person, another human being to share your life with, to do life with.
Yes.
And we just miss those moments. We do Christmas together and you do a couple holidays, but you can have that same relationship as you do with your friends. You could have that with your family. Why not?
Yeah.
So the fact that is beyond awesome.
Thank you. And the question is like, how do we integrate that? So for me, it's like starting with gratitude. My family was already doing gratitude a little bit, like at Christmas time, we'd say be grateful for what we're thankful for. But it didn't really permeate outside of those times, those kind of like, the stereotypical times that we're supposed to be grateful. It's like, how do we start integrating this more? How do we start bridging this gap more? So by taking something at a small level, a micro level, and for everyone listening in the audience, think about what these people are already doing well. How do you meet them where they are with what they already do appreciate? Maybe it's TV. Maybe the highest level of positivity that someone has is their dedication to TV, and then everything else is like toxic and negative, and you just don't even want to deal with them. I can't imagine that because I'm grateful that I haven't had to deal with that. My parents have been pretty supportive for the most part. But think about it. Like, what's the common level that you can meet them at? And then how can you create appreciation for the values that are important? Maybe it's someone's ability to watch TV for long periods of time. Maybe it's just being grateful for a good show. Can't you, what would it be like if you can just sit on the couch and your family member is over there or in the same room and just say, like, gratitude is such an easy place to start. Like, man, I'm so grateful. What are you grateful for about this show? And just start, like, find out where that common ground is, and then start slowly, like, stretching that small little window of what they might accept and tolerate. And in that process, you're going to get some kickback. The rubber band's going to, like, try to stretch, and they're going to be like, no. Stop it. I just want to watch this show. Stop it. Exactly. Right? And it's with the persistence and never giving up. And as long as they're your family, never give up. Never give up and keep making that attempt.
Right. And, I've done that. And I actually enjoy that. When I find out that someone is interested in something, my goal is to get involved with that thing. Of course, it depends on the level of it, level of mastery I have to, have to move forward with that. But, like you said, something as simple as TV, just sit with them, talk with them, ask if they need anything, any water, or, something, and just kind of connect with them in that way. Even with my daughter, this is a prime example. I have a 12-year-old, and they call it the pre-tweenagers. Of course, at one time it was teenagers. Now it's the pre-tweenagers because, they have access to technology and information. So they're growing up, really fast. But I find that I connect with her more by doing some things that she enjoys. And then she's attached, at the hip, so to speak, all because I showed her a form of caring. And of course, there are the different, the 5 love languages, as you know, we can always revert to that. Some people, I didn't understand. My mom was one of those people, to show her you love her, do something for her. And I never understood that growing up. I was a hugger. Mom, give me a hug. She's like, go wash your dishes or something. I'm like, that's abuse. And what she was saying was, take the time and take the effort to do something for me. She was saying, you're saying words and you're giving me a hug, but I receive love by you doing something for me. I understand that now. There's the acts of service and a few others as far as love languages. Learn the love language of the people in your family. Quality time was a huge one for me. If you didn't spend time with me, I just knew you didn't love me. But but on the flip side of that, I've been in relationships where somebody wanted to buy me something. I'm like, why are you buying me something when you're never here? I want your presence here. Yeah. But they would work hard so they could buy me something. Wow. That was their definition of love. If I do this for her, if I keep her car clean, if I do this, she'll feel my love. I'm like, no, I want your butt right here beside me. Yes. That's my definition. So once you find each other's love languages, that really opens up, like I said, it's a language. Love is a language. And we can share that with those around us, and it can carry over into the workplace as well. Give someone a pat on the back. Good job. I appreciate you. It's not just the money. Tell someone you appreciate them. Give them a gift card. That's how they say, oh, wow, you went above and beyond. You checked on my grandma. Like, that means a lot to me. So we just have to find ways of communication. It's just different types of communication. You just have to find each one with each person. It's work, but it's worth it.
Wow. It's powerful. So Candise, tell us about a time that you had a challenge with communicating with someone or getting them to cooperate, and what did you do to change that around, to turn that around?
Communication is just one of those things. Again, you can talk about personality types, belief systems, people who have had a really hard life and they're shut down, they're closed off. If you just let people know that you're a safe place, and what I find is that when I share first, it opens up the door. When I apologize first, I may not be the wrong one, but I don't want to have that invisible closed door in between us. So I'll open that invisible door to allow them to come in to see who I truly am. And 9 times out of 10, that opens them up to say, you know what, actually, I've been feeling this. And sometimes I'm mad at you because of this. But at least that door was open instead of, well, you're going to act like this and I'm going to act like that. And I'll wait for you. Just that grudge and passive aggressive behavior. It drives me crazy. When someone's mad at you, you don't even know why, and they just stop talking to you. It's like, okay, let's backtrack and let's get on the same page. And just opening up that line of communication, even if you need to be that forerunner and say, what's going on? Can we talk about it? I feel this. Yep. How do you feel? More than likely, people will open up that dialogue, and, just the pieces can start to add up and build again.
Yeah, I love that. And you said you might have to be the forerunner. I would say you're definitely going to be the forerunner. Take that freaking leadership staff and step into the confrontation and deal with it. Because otherwise, a lot of people they're not going to deal with it. People don't like confronting things.
They don't like confrontation. But with confrontation comes peace.
Yes.
And people that don't get that.
And
sometimes
growth.
it starts a war all because you want the peace. war and peace go together. They're hand in hand.
They are.
So just find that leverage.
Yes, find the leverage. And, I love how you also said what I feel is, because that's so important to share how you feel and not pointing the fingers that someone did something wrong. But what I feel is, I'm not getting the attention that I need. I'm not feeling my needs are being met. I'm not feeling, appreciated. I'm not feeling that we have great communication. I want to create good communication. I'm committed to great communication. I'm committed to being appreciated. I'm committed to being loved. I'm committed that this relationship works. How do you feel?
Exactly. That is, there it is. There it is. Do what you have to do. With my family, as you were talking about your family, we have a Facebook group.
Wow.
And,
that's awesome.
We keep each other informed. We live all over the United States, and we keep each other informed on what's going on in our lives. So, cousin, I may not have talked to you in 3 months, 5 months, but I see the pictures of the graduation. I see what's going on in their lives, not just on their page, but firsthand. This is what's going on in my life. We make that a thing. We make that important. I wish everyone would participate. I'll get everyone working on that.
What would it take? What would it take for people to just dive in full force and want to participate? That's
it. I was just saying with my fiance, I got engaged 2 weeks ago. We have a board, and every day we write something to each other. So no matter how busy we are, like he'll write something while I'm doing something, and then an hour later I notice like this note. And it's just so cool that this note that it probably took him a minute to write, but it means so much because he wrote out his thoughts. He may have told me, but now just that visual right there, it just means the world to me. And we just operate in all those 5 love languages. It's important, again, just to share that with each other. So I love it.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff. I love this. Okay, so in terms of like someone creating their future, I know before this interview, we talked about like having a vision, having something that kind of pulls us through when we're going through difficult situations and circumstances. Tell us more about that and how you do that, how you help your clients do that. Tell us more about that process and that phenomena.
Yeah, sure. When it comes to speaking, and I even shared this with you, I went from being very shy to finding my voice to now I dream at least 3 to 5 days a week. I dream of myself on stages. And some of these places are places that I've been. Some of them I haven't been yet. But I know it's going to happen because the vision is alive inside of me. And it's important to have a vision. People say, what's your vision? I'm thinking, what's your goal? What would you like to see here? But I was literally having visions of what I'm supposed to do, what I am purposed to do. And if we can keep that vision strong, no matter what's going on, that you're going to be clouded, it's going to be a lot going on. But again, just having that eagle eye view, to be able to rise above, to have a better view of the full picture, keeping your goals in mind, letting people know around you, that these are my goals. This is what I'm planning to do. This is what's going to happen. Put a date on it and say, this is what's going to happen for me. And again, finding those groups that support that. Not just family and friends again, but someone who is specifically in the same mind as you are, like you said, that mastermind, just around those people that say, not only do I support you, I do the same thing, and this is how it's been working for me. Have those people surround you. It's important.
Yeah, and the ability to share with people who have that same values as you, right? Because it's so important that if you value security, then someone else values like freedom and like risking, like more of an entrepreneurial mindset. Like we're not going to be on the same page. It's like not going to work very well. Versus if there's a culture of entrepreneurship and people who value risk, who value, doing the long road, the long journey, or who value integrity, who value ethics, who value, being service-minded and contributing to their fellow human beings. It's so important to find yourself in a community like that, create a community like that, join a community like that, whatever it might be, but just know what is valuable to you. Everyone listening, are you clear on your values? What's important to me? Ask yourself that question. Write it down on a piece of paper. What's important to me? What is important to you? Is it family? Is it freedom? Is it money? Is it travel? Is it, a relationship, a one-on-one intimate relationship? Is that what fuels you? And if you don't know those questions, ask Candise, schedule a call with her, or ask me. We'd love to help you out with that.
Yes.
And it's really just taking the time to sit down and do that and write out those responses and get clear on that information. Because when you do, then it's so much easier to make the decisions in life. If you know why you are doing something, if you know what you value, if you know that vision that in 1 year I'm committed to, earning $500,000. In 1 year, I'm committed to speaking to 1,000 people. In 1 year, I'm committed to writing my next book or being in the relationship of my dreams. Then when you have that vision as well as the values of what's important to you, then it's easy to say no to all the distractions. It's easy to say no to the old person that you were that got you to this point. Because you have to let go, you have to release, you have to shed the layers of the old person who you accumulated or who survived to get you to this point. Because the person who got you to where you are today is not going to get you to the person who you want to be in a year, and the goals and the achievements that you want.
Yes. Keep those goals clear. Have people, like you said, have that network and that group that's supporting you, because you're all on the same page. You're all in the same alignment. Yes. Now, the other people, you could easily toss them away, but I say those are equally important, because we feel like, and I think this is an issue for some people, they feel like they only want to be around like-minded people. Well, those like-minded people can service you in a particular way when it comes to business, but there may be other people that you can call at 2:00 in the morning and say, I'm having an issue. This is what I need. Someone else may be that person that if you have a flat tire, they can help you with that.
Yep.
So when you limit yourself with only certain people, some people still, even amongst their peers, they feel isolated and alone. It's like they have the same business mindset, but it's other things, that different areas in their life that they just can't, just regular situations, right? But they just need a little bit of help. So keep people around you, but just realize their role in your life. It's important that you know that this is the person, if I have a flat tire, or if this is the one that, this is going on at my house and I need some help, versus this person, I have some issues with my business. I need a consultant. Who can I talk to? Have everyone around you. Just recognize the role in your life, and then everything works out just fine.
Wow, it's powerful. And being clear on, I don't want to call people resources, but the resources and support and people that are there to help you get to where you want to go. Are you clear on the inventory of what that is, of who those people are? Yes. Right? Because it's important to know, if you have a mechanic in your back pocket, that's your go-to for anything car related, right? And I think one of the biggest things that we take for granted is all the people and all the resources and all the support that we have in our own life, trying to do it on our own, number one, which makes life really difficult for us, but also it allows us to be of service even more to others. If we hear of other people who have a problem with their car breaking down, or who have a problem with not being able to achieve their goals, who have a problem with suffering with their relationship and they're not getting the support or attention or appreciation or whatever it might be that they need, then we can provide a solution. We can be a service provider. We can be a connector. And in this day and age, having these networks, that's the most valuable thing. I'm so grateful because we're building this relationship, you, Candise and I, and who knows how it's going to unfold and blossom in the future. And as well, I have all these other amazing guests who come on the show. So if she saw someone who she wanted to connect with or build a relationship with, then it's my joy to connect you with someone else who you would want to connect with. It's my, privilege and my pleasure to bring together harmony and relationships and people to co-create who have similar values, because one of the biggest challenges is feeling like we're alone. And if I can connect people, if I can bring together resources and people of a similar mindset, then that's like I could change people's lives forever. Like their life could change forever simply by putting people together in a conversation.
Absolutely. And I feel like that's actually our duty. You shouldn't know someone just because you work with them or because they're your client. Actually care for about the person and what they're interested in. That creates more conversations, of course, more things to do. You never know what you have in common with the next person, and it's just communication. It's just talking it out and realizing who that person is, that the identity of that person. And a lot of people feel like people just truly don't know them. And those are the ones that commit suicide and blow up schools or just are recluses and say that they don't like people. There are people, Chris, that say they like their cat. They like their cat or their dog more than they like human beings. And that's beyond me. A person who has the same language as you do, who has the same experience. You just never know who someone truly is. Wow. And people choose not to know someone in that manner. And what a life, what life are you missing out on just not knowing the next person, your next door neighbor? Wow. And that's what it's about. So.
Yes. Amazing, Candise. So we are beginning to wrap up now, and we want to know for this audience, what do we want to invite them to? What new reality, what new paradigm, what new way of showing up in the world do we want to call them to action to be into? And then after that, you can of course share with people how they can stay connected with you and what you want them to do next. But what's kind of like the main point of this interview? And because they spent their time here with us today and invested their time, what can they step into now moving forward?
The goal in life is to be present, be intentional, be adamant about your life. You get one life. And why not share that with the world? You have a message. And I think I didn't realize exactly that I had a message. Like, what do I say? Who am I? But once you know who you are and you've identified your call, there should be nothing that stops you. That should be the thing that keeps you going on a day-to-day basis. I know you have the title of mother and wife and you go to school and you go to work, but once you realize the essence of who you are, you can become a better person for other people. And that's ultimately what it's about. Just being present and showing up, knocking on every door, because they're going to open. It may not be that door, but then 2 weeks from now, it's going to be that door. Keep knocking, keep searching, keep realizing that there's more. There's more out there for you. And just realize that there's other people out there that'll help you get there. And I'm one of them.
Yes, absolutely. So how do they stay connected with you, and what do you want them to do next, Candise?
Well, to stay connected with me, you can find me on Facebook, of course, Purposely Aligned. I'm getting tongue-tied here. Consulting on Facebook. I'm on Skype. I'm on Instagram. You can find me on all of those outlets. And just realize that this is the time, this is the year of the double door. There are no closed doors. And once I realized that there are no closed doors, some doors closed because I closed it and because I didn't knock. Just keep knocking, keep showing up, and it's going to happen. And it's going to happen for you the day you decide. It's just that simple. So connect with me, and I'm ready to show up.
Awesome. Candise, you're amazing. Everyone stay connected with this powerhouse because she is a rising, shining star. Candise, thank you for delivering your light and your love into the world and being a contribution to your loved ones, your clients, the people you've worked with, and keep up the amazing work because I'm excited to see, and we are excited to see your growth and massive contribution to the planet moving forward. So thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. And thank you for this platform. Again, I've already told you, Chris, the fact that you share your platform with other people. When it's so much competition, people are scared that it's not enough for everyone, and it is. It's enough, and it's enough space at the top for everyone. And I just thank you, and I will be speaking with you soon.
Awesome, Candise. You have the best day ever. We'll see you soon, okay?
All right. Have a good one.
Take care.